Alpha is the first member of Shadow Garden, being one of the original 7 shadows. After Shadow cured her of demonic possession, she dedicated her life to it. Technically the second in command, she is the true leader of Shadow Garden, being its director of operations who expanded the organization from the grassroots to an economic and military superpower. Alpha is a young elf with long golden blonde hair and blue eyes. His overall appearance is described as extremely beautiful, attracting much attention and praise. His flawless skin complements his striking features. He bears a strong resemblance to his ancestor Olivier, the elven hero, and his aunt Beatrix, the deity of war. Alpha usually wears dark garments, and has been seen wearing several outfits. One of them is an elegant evening gown with slits at the sides, matching gloves, high heels, and a coordinating choker. The neckline highlights her curvaceous figure and shows off a sunrise-shaped pendant. For less flashy occasions, she opts for a simpler black dress, without ostentatious necklines, that achieves elegance through its simplicity. During her duties at Shadow Garden, Alpha wears the signature ebony slime suit, adorned with gold accents and a cutout design on the chest. In the center of the breastbone he wears a golden diamond, with 2 stripes of the same hue descending below the chest cutout. These lines continue down to the waist, where they meet the gold decorations. Along Alpha's hips are ornate gold stripes, along with 3 belts encircling her thighs. She completes the outfit with high heels with gold trim and dark bracelets with gold accents to protect her hands. To preserve her anonymity, she wears a dark toned mask, similar to a domino mask, decorated with ruffles and flowers. Born out of fervor for her Redeemer and hatred for those who deprive many, including herself, of happiness, Alpha's only goal in life is to eradicate the demon cult. She shows condescension towards the weak and the ignorant who are disconnected from the real world. Even for those enlightened by the shadows, she can be aloof if they lack ideals or ambition. Alpha's callous indifference to strangers is not always indicative of her temperament in all situations. When acting as administrator of Shadow Garden, she is unflappable and offers compliant answers and orders. However, this serene attitude fades at the suspicion of harm or betrayal by her loved ones. Alpha shows a broader emotional spectrum around the 7 shadows and Sid. Mocking laughter is replaced by genuine laughter, and brotherly compassion replaces impassivity. She considers the 7 shadows her family, sometimes looking past their faults and embracing them as if they were her kin. The possessed also arouse deep empathy in Alpha, and she strives to rescue as many as possible. The blonde elf's accomplishments have not alleviated a deep sense of inferiority and inadequacy. Like many of the 7 shadows, Alpha feels that Shadow is in a realm beyond comprehension and considers his presence a burden. Dissatisfied with her own shortcomings, she strives to take on Shadow's responsibilities and earn even a little more of his trust. Since its inception, Alpha has maintained her position as the second in command of Shadow Garden, a position determined by being the second strongest member. She is a versatile fighter who demonstrates skill in multiple areas, but is outmatched by her fellow 7 shadows in their respective specialties. Her only defeat has been at the hands of her master Shadow, the leader of the organization. As a sign of her strength, Sid has used her as a benchmark for assessing an opponent's ability, and she remains one of the few combatants to have caused him injury in a genuine confrontation. Talented fencer. Under the initial tutelage of her mentor Sid, Alpha acquired various techniques and skills with the sword. Expanding on the fundamentals he was taught, Alpha developed a personal style, as did other members of the 7 shadows. Alpha has demonstrated mastery of 2 sword fighting styles. One of them resembles Shadow's meticulous approach: observe the opponent and gradually create an advantage by perfecting moves during active combat. By anticipating the trajectory of attacks, Alpha can dodge them with precision. The second style focuses on defeating the enemy with a single blow, a technique preferred for assassinations or the elimination of regenerative targets. The elasticity and fluidity of the slime can make it easier to extend the sword to engage larger opponents. Alpha's magic is blue in color. Despite being the strongest of the 7 shadows, Alpha is always training and developing new combat techniques with the sole purpose of always keeping up with Sid. Alpha always assumes a role when interacting with the other members of Shadow Garden, similar to how Sid assumes Shadow's role. Among the 7 shadows, she comes across as a stoic leader, but with Sid, she can be herself without the need to pretend. In the manga, Alpha is seen participating in the assault on Midgar Academy, while in the other adaptations, Gamma is the leader leader since the blonde elf is unavailable. Currently, Sid owes him a meal after eating the parts of both of them during the kidnapping incident involving Princess Alexia. He has yet to return the favor and has forgotten about it. Alpha is the hands-on leader of Shadow Garden, as Sid is too focused on his Eminence in Shadow performances to participate in organizational activities. The Seven Shadows fallaciously believe that he is involved in esoteric missions. 6 of the 7 Shadows recognize that she has the highest authority in the organization after Shadow and loyally follow her orders. Zeta and Delta have disputed Alpha's leadership on different occasions. Delta challenged the blonde elf shortly after joining Shadow Garden as second in command. Alpha has retained his title, and experience has led Delta to obey his orders without question. Believing that the leader is not preparing for the future, Zeta has created a sub-faction in Shadow Garden to undermine Alpha's authority and revive the Demon Diablos. She consistently fails to report and continues her clandestine behavior. Alpha's hair color is platinum in the web novels, and the MTLs translated it to blonde. This issue has been debated among old and new readers of web novel series, as the anime, light novel graphics and official translation shows blonde. Daisuke Aizawa also praised the colors and illustrations. In the spin-off series Kagejitsu, it is revealed that Alpha lacks sense and taste for female fashion. He tries to learn and follow the advice of his peers, such as Gamma's recommendation to wear cute underwear. Alpha is a skilled knitter, as shown in Kagejitsu, and successfully made prototype animal t-shirts for Mitsugoshi Company. Although not confirmed by Daisuke Aizawa, third-party sources claim that Alpha is in love with Shadow. According to surveys conducted by the character's voice actors, Alpha is in love with Sid, which was verified by his Japanese voice actress, Asami Sito, during an interview. I hope you liked the video. If you want me to bring a video about your waifu, comment it. Do not forget to check the videos of the channel. See you in the next video.